If you're familiar with this channel, you should know by now some of the red flags that you should be looking for when you're interviewing for a company. But what about on the flip side? What are some signs that you're actually interviewing for a great company? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 things to look for in a green flag employer. Hey everybody, it's Brian from Life After Layoff, and today I want to share with you some signs that you're interviewing for an actually decent company. Now, as we all know, a bad employer can set you back years in your career, but a good employer can actually propel you forward. So without further ado, let's talk about some of those green flags that you should be looking for when you're interviewing for your next company. The first sign that you're interviewing for a great company is that they value your time, and we call this candidate experience in the interviewing process. The candidate experience is what the candidate experiences throughout the entirety of the process from application all the way to offer. Are they investing in talent acquisition? Are they making the website easy to navigate? Are they putting a lot of information out there so that you can get a clear understanding of their corporate culture, of the benefits that they offer? Is the applicant tracking system that you're using a current and modern one? And is the application itself seamless? Do they make you create an account in order to apply? Do you have to answer behavior-based interview questions that should be safe for the actual interview? Or do they make you fill out some sort of long assessment that doesn't value your time? And when you applied, did they give you timely feedback on the status of your application? All these things are an indicator of a good candidate experience, because what it shows is that the employer values your time as the candidate. And good companies really do focus on that type of thing. Now, it's easy to beat up on companies who don't do it, but we should recognize the companies that do. The next thing I'd be looking for is the interview process itself convoluted, or is it something that's more streamlined? Great companies can get through an interview process in a week or even less, but companies that struggle in interviewing tend to draw them out for very long periods of time. I've seen some people have 6-month interview processes with a company only to find out that they didn't get the job, or even worse, they get ghosted. So does that company value your time, try to condense things, make quick and decisive hiring decisions, and more importantly, when you're in the interview process, are they keeping you informed of the next steps, not leaving you in the lurch, and of course, not ghosting you? And during the application and early interview process, were they clear and concise about what it is that they were offering as far as salary, benefits, and all that stuff? In other words, there's no guesswork there. They're not being shady. They're being realistic, and everything seems to be on the up and up. And when you are having these salary discussions, it's very mutual. It doesn't seem adversarial. The recruiter isn't playing it so close to the vest that it's like they're hiding something. Now, in and of itself, I will say that I'm not overly concerned with companies sharing salary ranges, because I have techniques that I follow anyway to discover what their salary is and where I should be so I don't leave any money on the table. But it is nice to have them disclose it early in the process so that there's no guesswork. And let's face it, when a company acts shady about the salary and other things that they may be offering, is this an indicator of what it'll be like to work there? Will everything else be shady too? So when the company has open and honest discussions out of the gate, there's no shadiness, then it fosters a sense of honesty and trust. Next up is the interactions with your boss. If you find that your boss is being very engaged in what you're saying, they're leaning in and asking you probing questions that seems like they're not just reading off of a scripted interview sheet, then that's a really good sign that you're talking to a green flag employer, because it seems likely that they're very interested in what knowledge, skills, abilities, and experiences you can bring to the table. And who knows, maybe they're trying to learn something from you. And while you're at it, it'd be worth paying close attention to how the people in the department that you're interviewing for and the broader company interact and engage with one another. Do they seem to be having fun? Do they seem to have a lighthearted banter? Does it seem like it's a relaxed place to work? Because that's going to be a big indicator of whether or not the corporate culture is overly rigid and stuffy, or one that's more relaxed and enjoyable. And while you're at it, you may want to ask some of the people who are working in that department what they like about working for that company. Ask how long they've been there. If you see people that have a lot of tenure and have been promoted from within, that's a great sign that you're talking to a green flag employer. And I also think another component of a really great opportunity is finding a company whose products and services are cutting edge, are growing. There's a genuine excitement in the industry. There's kind of a buzz going about the company, because when the company has a great product or an exciting new product launch that they're all anticipating, it makes it that much easier to jump right into the team and be engaged day one. And not to mention, when you have a company that has a great product and there's a lot of excitement in the market about them, and hopefully they're profitable, the likelihood of you being laid off is reduced. And that's probably the next big indicator that I would look at is what their track record for laying people off, and especially in the past 4 or 5 years, would be. I want to make sure that the company has a true need for the job that I'm interviewing for, and they have a strong track record of success where they've not laid off people in the past. Because just like they're assessing us, we should be doing the same thing with them. And their past performance is their best indicator of what their future performance is likely to be. And I mentioned this a little bit ago, but I'd also be looking for a strong track record of people who not only haven't been laid off, but are progressing through the company through a series of internal promotions. Now, it's always the kiss of death when you're interviewing for a job and you find out that you're going up against an internal candidate, because the chances are they're probably going to get the job. But that's a good sign if you're somebody that's interviewing for a role. If they promote from within and you notice that there is a culture of them internally recognizing their people, then that's a great sign that it's a green flag employer. So I personally would be asking every single person that I encounter, how long have you been at the company? And see if they've ever been promoted, because that's going to be a great litmus test of the kind of corporate culture that you want to be in. And when you do get to the point of offer, check out what the benefits package is. Is it people focused? In other words, are the benefits offered truly valuable and unique? If they offer the same benefits package that every single other company offers, it's never been enriched. In fact, I might even ask that, how's the benefits package been improved year over? That's an indicator that they're not investing in their people. And as much as they might put on their website or on their corporate headquarters on the wall saying that they put people first, those are the indicators that they do indeed put people first. So if the company that you're interviewing for offers a very people-oriented benefits program, they offer top-notch medical, dental, and vision. They also have a great paid time off program. They give you lots of vacation time, lots of paid holidays. They maybe have a lot of wellness and other interesting benefits that are very people focused, then that's a great indicator that it's a green flag employer. And then finally, when we get to the point of offer, the offer is easy. There's no shadiness there. There's no lowballing. What you discussed early in the interview is consistent with what they present to you. There doesn't need to be a whole lot of negotiating. Of course, we will always negotiate our offers, but a good quality employer doesn't get shady, doesn't get cute with you at the last minute and then offer you something that's considerably less than what you discussed in the very beginning. In other words, they're being very upfront, they're consistent, and they have integrity. And when you do negotiate, they're very fair about it. They enrich the offer. They're not making you feel bad about it, that they're going to pull the offer from you, some high pressure sales tactics to get you to sign the dotted line. In other words, they have integrity. And that's what we're looking for in corporate culture. It's everything that they do backing up what they say they're going to do. So when you're interviewing for your next company, go through this list and see how many green flags are they giving you. Of course, this isn't an all-encompassing list. There's other green flags that you can look for as well. And if a company doesn't do some of these things, but they do others, it doesn't automatically mean that they're a red flag employer. So use your judgment, but we're looking for the entirety of what their corporate culture is like. And more importantly, that candidate experience. But if you're somebody that finds yourself struggling to get to the job offer, that's actually something that I specialize in. I have a website called alifeafterlayoff.com, and it is loaded with tips and tricks, all from an insider's perspective. And I share my deepest and most intimate knowledge in the form of some training courses. If you need help with your resume, getting that phone to ring, I've got a course called Resume Rocketfuel. And if you need help getting through the interview process itself, check out my course, The Ultimate Job Seeker Bootcamp. And if you want to skip the recruiter altogether, check out Unlocking LinkedIn, which teaches you how to set up a profile to get the maximum eyeballs on your profile from recruiters, but more importantly, how to skip the recruiter altogether and jump right to the front of the line. And if you're somebody that's kind of rudderless in your career, it's usually an indicator of a lack of strategy. So I created a course called The Ultimate Career Blueprint, which will help you determine where you should be heading in your career and give you a very firm and guiding northern light. So anyway, happy job hunting. Hopefully you can find a green flag employer yourself so you can put the job search to rest and you can get focused on a long-term career strategy. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.